Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Yeah.
Today we're tackling something that's, well, a little mysterious for a lot of people, SEO. How to actually get your website seen online.
It really can feel like you're wandering through a maze sometimes.
Absolutely. Keywords, backlinks, algorithms. It's a lot, especially if you're just trying to get your website up and running.
I hear that. And that's exactly why this deep dive is going to be so useful. We're looking at a free SEO checklist created by Sean Anderson. He's got over 20 years of experience auditing websites. People who really know SEO are raving about it.
I know, right? Even Cyrus Shepard, he called it better than 99% of what's out there. And that's saying something. It's a Google sheet, downloadable as Excel, and it's broken down so nicely. Technical SEO, user experience. They've even got separate checklists for website quality, A&D, content quality, plus page-level SEO.
It's incredibly thorough, especially for a free resource, which is really what Sean's going for, making good SEO guidance accessible for everyone.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of the checklist itself, I'm curious, why is something like this so valuable, in your opinion?
Well, think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start by picking out paint colors, would you? You'd want to make sure you have a solid foundation first.
That's a great analogy.
And that's what this checklist helps you do with SEO.
Right.
Ensures you're building on solid ground, aligned with those all-important Google guidelines. You want to actually see results from the work you're putting in, right?
So it's like having a blueprint, but for your website's visibility.
Exactly. And just like a blueprint helps you avoid costly mistakes, this checklist does the same for your SEO. Like, one thing Google looks at is website security, whether you're using HTTPS.
Okay, I know Google takes that seriously, but how does HTTPS actually connect back to SEO?
Well, Google wants its users to have the best experience, and a big part of that is making sure they're only landing on websites that are safe and trustworthy.
Right, makes sense.
So, using HTTPS isn't just good for security in general, it's actually become a ranking factor. This checklist makes sure you're not overlooking these seemingly small things that can actually make a huge difference.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It makes you realize there's a lot more to SEO than meets the eye. It's not just about cramming keywords into your content anymore.
Nope, not at all. And this is where the checklist's focus on user experience is so smart. Google's getting better and better at figuring out how people are actually interacting with websites.
So it's not enough to just get people to your site. You want them to stay there, engage with their content, maybe buy something.
Got it.
Yeah.
And that's why things like site speed, mobile friendliness, clear navigation, it's all in the checklist. It's about a positive user experience, which Google then rewards.
It's like Google is saying, we're watching, and we want to see that you're actually creating something valuable, something enjoyable, not just trying to trick the system.
Exactly. And speaking of creating something valuable, this checklist is really big on high-quality content.
I did notice there are actually two sections on content, website quality, A&D, main content quality. Why the distinction?
Good eye. It's a subtle but important difference. Website quality is looking at your site as a whole. How trustworthy and authoritative is it? Are you showing off your expertise in a clear way? Do you have a well-designed About Us page? Can people find your contact info easily? These things build trust.
It's almost like you're building a brand, not just throwing some words on a page.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got main content quality that's more about the words themselves. Is it well written?
Yeah.
Engaging? Does it give people something they actually want to read, something useful? Google cares about that now.
So no more just stuffing keywords in wherever they fit?
Not if you want to actually rank well, no. Google's really good at spotting that kind of thing now. They want to see real expertise, real authority.
Which brings us back to that holistic approach we talked about earlier, right?
Totally. I mean, you could have the most amazing website from a technical standpoint, load super fast, all of that. But if the content isn't good, none of it matters.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So we've covered technical SEO, user experience, content quality, all super important. But there's another part of this checklist I wanted to ask about, page-level SEO. What is that exactly?
So that's where you're really fine-tuning each page on your site. We're talking about maximum visibility. Think of it like, okay, you've built the house, the foundation is strong, but now you've got to think about each room, how to make it really pop.
I like that. So what kind of decorating are we talking about here?
This is your title tags, meta descriptions, headers, image, alt text, all that good stuff. This is how you give Google more context for each page.
Okay, so if I was writing a blog post about, let's say, the best hiking trails in Yosemite, my title tag would be super clear about that and include those keywords.
You got it. And then your meta description, that little snippet of text that shows up under your title in the search results, that should make people want to click, like a mini ad for your content.
Grabbing their attention right away.
Yeah.
And what about those header tags and image alt text? I always forget about those.
Well, header tags, your H1s, H2s, and so on, those break up your content and make it easier to read, both for people and for search engines trying to understand what's on the page.
Like giving it a clear structure.
Right. And then image alt text does the same thing, but for your images. Google can't actually see images like we do, so the alt text is a description that tells them what's in the image and how it relates to everything else. Plus, it's important for accessibility for people using screen readers.
Oh, good point. I forget about that aspect.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much thought goes into optimizing every little thing.
Yep, all about the details. It all adds up to a better experience for users and for the search engines.
And this checklist lays it all out so clearly. What about those other sections, though? Local SEO, link building, competitor analysis. Those seem a bit more, I don't know, advanced.
They are, but just as important. Like local SEO, that's huge if you have a brick and mortar business. Say you're a bakery. Local SEO makes sure that people in your neighborhood can find you when they search for bakery near me. So important. So what should that bakery owner be doing? What are the big things there?
Google My Business is a big one. You want to claim your profile, make sure all your info is up to date.
It's like their online storefront, right?
Exactly. Then there's link building, which basically means getting other websites to link back to yours.
I've heard about that. It seems kind of, I don't know, hard. Like, how do you even do that?
Think of it like getting recommendations. If you create something really valuable, people are going to want to share it, link to it.
So it goes back to the quality of the content again.
It always does.
Yeah.
And it all ties into those other elements, user experience, technical, SEO, everything works together.
It's like a whole ecosystem. Now, what about competitor analysis? Why is it helpful to see what your competitors are doing? It can really help you spot opportunities, see what's working in your industry, you know.
So if I notice a competitor is ranking really well for a certain keyword, I can see what they're doing, maybe learn from it.
Exactly. Not copying, but getting inspiration, seeing where you could improve your own strategy, offer something even better.
This is reminding me of something you said earlier, how this checklist is like a roadmap. It shows you the way, but you have to actually do the driving.
I like that. And this checklist gives you the knowledge you need to be a good driver, to understand how everything works.
You said it. It's really empowering, especially for people who might feel kind of intimidated by SEO.
Totally. And the cool thing is, Sean doesn't just hand you this checklist and disappear. Remember that task manager system we mentioned?
Oh, yeah. Like having your own little SEO assistant.
Right. Helps you stay organized, set deadlines, track your progress, all right there in the sheet.
That's so smart. It's a good reminder that SEO isn't just a one-time thing, it's a process.
Understand.
Okay, so we've covered so much, but I have to ask, with all this amazing info, is there a catch?
The best part is, there isn't. It's totally free to use. Sean even has an Excel version you can download and customize.
Wow. Talk about giving back. It shows that you don't need to charge an arm and a leg for good advice.
For sure. He's all about sharing knowledge, helping people succeed.
Love that. This has honestly got me really fired up to dive into this checklist myself.
Same. You're going to find some real gems in there, have a feeling.
I'm feeling really inspired, honestly.
Yeah.
This whole thing, it reminds me of what we're trying to do here on the Deep Dive.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Taking these topics that can seem kind of complicated
Right.
and making them, make sense.
Making them accessible. Exactly.
Yes.
And we have covered a ton of ground today, but I do want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Kind of a provocative one.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Hit me.
So we keep talking about how this checklist is like a roadmap to SEO success, right?
Right. It guides you through all the essential elements.
Yes. But even the absolute best roadmap in the world, it can't predict every little bump in the road. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's true. So what do we do? Just hope for the best?
No, not at all. It's more like this checklist makes you a better driver. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like
Gives you the knowledge, right? You can understand the signs, anticipate what might be coming up ahead.
So it's not about just following blindly, but using it as a starting point and kind of figuring out your own path as you go.
You got it. Because the thing about SEO, it's always changing. So you have to be ready to learn and adapt as you go.
That is so important, yeah. There's no magic formula. It's about staying curious, trying new things.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of SEO.
And remember, everyone, that free checklist is out there waiting for you.
Use it wisely, stay curious, and who knows, Maybe your website will be ranking #1 before you know it.
Until next time.
Happy optimizing, everybody.